After Ladakh, Jammu has now joined the chorus for delinking from Kashmir. Amid the ongoing unrest in the valley, the chorus for a separate statehood for Jammu is gradually gathering momentum. Independent Udhampur MLA and former Minister of State Pawan Gupta has sounded the separate statehood bugle. He says delinking the Jammu province from Kashmir division or else citizens would be forced to launch an aggressive campaign for a separate state. Member BJP MP from Ladakh, Tubstan Chawang had already submitted a memorandum to the Prime Minister demanding a union territory status for the region just a few days ago. Pawan Gupta, Udhampur MLA, is now joining us on the phone line for more. Sir, why is this demand being made at this juncture when we are seeing the centre already trying to bring the situation in Kashmir under control?
Hello.
Yes, Pawan Gupta, are you there with us? Go ahead.
Yeah. Madam, the demand for Jammu stems for the fact that we Jammuites have been nasty to the core. We have never demanded autonomy. We have never demanded self-rule. We have never demanded Azadi. Now they are moving ahead of Azadi. They are demanding an Islamic state, which Jammu region cannot afford to have, because their demand is not within the constitutional parameters of India and not within the constitutional parameters of Jammu and Kashmir. They are challenging the very merger and accession of JNUSU state with the rest of the country. So it's a high time that the central government realizes its implications.
Mr. Gupta, we want to know what your demand is at the moment from the government.
Our demand is to de-link Jammu, give it a separate statehood, so that the world knows that the problem is only confined to an area of 6,000 square kilometers, which is only 6% of the entire state. Otherwise, the entire state is being painted as a state in turmoil and unrest.
All right, Mr. Pawan Gupta, I'll request you to stay on with us because a similar demand has come from the Ladakh region as well. Tubstan Chawang, MP Ladakh, who's joining us now on the phone line, has already, told the Prime Minister about this demand. Mr. Chawang, why this demand at this juncture? And we are also seeing a similar demand now coming in from the Jammu region.
No, let me tell you, this is not a new demand as far as Ladakh is concerned. We have been demanding separation from Jammu and Kashmir state since early 1947.
But you know why this fresh demand at this juncture, particularly when the government is grappling with the situation in Kashmir?
That is because, Ladakh never wanted to be part of this uncertainty as far as the issue of Jammu and Kashmir is concerned. And we have been not only now, but from time to time, we have been demanding separation of Ladakh from Jammu and Kashmir and to be accorded a union territory status, At this juncture, it is more so because, we have lost faith in the composite identity of Jammu and Kashmir state. In view of the fact that whatever is happening in Kashmir for the last 2 months, let me tell you also that this geographically, 3/4 of Jammu and Kashmir state is absolutely peaceful. They don't want Azadi. They don't want autonomy. They don't want anything to do with this ideological separatist ideology.
All right. So Mr. Chawang, from what I gather, from what you're saying, is that there is no single identity that passes through the state of Jammu and Kashmir, and therefore Ladakh will be better off separated or de-linked from Kashmir. But can you help us understand, is that the sentiment largely in Ladakh or confined to only a section?
No, absolutely. I had written to Honorable Prime Minister on the 30th, for this demand, and all social-religious organizations in Leh district and all the political parties, they have also written to the Prime Minister about a fortnight ago. After this, whatever is happening in Kashmir, looking at the Kashmir situation, they have also written to the Honorable Prime Minister to separate Ladakh from Jammu and Kashmir state and accord it a UT status. I know that there are some reservations in Kargil, but many sections in Kargil, as far as Zanskar, a delegation of Zanskar is coming to Srinagar today, and all political parties, all shades of opinion in Zanskar, they also want separation from Kashmir and UT status to be accorded to Ladakh. In Kargil, right-thinking people, they also have a lot of reservation. because they have been harassed, they have been discriminated against like people in Leh. So all the committees that have, because you know that regional imbalance exists in the three regions of Jammu and Kashmir.
Okay.
Ladakhis have been treated as second-class citizens. We have not been given our dues here, you know.
All right.
That's the reason.
Okay,
yes.
okay, Mr. Chawang, I want you to stay on with us because let me put a question to Pawan Gupta as well from Udhampur, who's also now demanding that Jammu be delinked from Kashmir. Mr. Pawan Gupta, you just heard Mr. Chawang saying that, Ladakhis feel, at least a section of the Ladakhis feel that they have been sidelined. Is that the sentiment in Jammu as well, which is triggering this sentiment of delinking from Kashmir?
Madam, there are numerous reasons behind demanding a separation from Kashmir, because we have been ill-treated for the last 69 years by the dispensation of Jammu and Kashmir government.
Ill-treated in what sense, sir?
We have been discriminated in the matters of development. We have been given less money. I can tell you, even in the present budget, in which BJP and PDP both are partners, Jammu region has been discriminated heavily, and I have got the figures. If you will allow me, I can cite out those figures. Even during the dispensation of BJP PDP regime, Jammu region has been neglected totally, and in every 29 departments of the government, Jammu region has been neglected by the Kashmiri leaders.
Mr. Pawan Gupta, is that the only reason at this particular juncture, or do you want to have an identity separate from that of the Kashmiris, because you feel that the people in or the region of Jammu does not want to be associated with Kashmir, where we are seeing a sentiment different from what perhaps Jammu feels?
Madam, we have been suffering and we have raised this demand several times. But now we are compelled by the circumstances in Kashmir to demand a separate state for Jammu, so that this peaceful region progresses well. You have seen that the present government has been, they have brought a Transfer of Property Act in the last session of the Parliament, Land Alienation Act, which clearly goes on to prove that this government is out and out to destabilize the business and economic industry of the state, because they don't want anything to come inside the state of JNK.
Okay.
I was the one who opposed that Transfer of Property Act. Now we are compelled by the circumstances. This BJP has become a mute spectator to the entire sector of things.
All right, Mr. Pawan Gupta, I'll hold you there for a bit. Let me go back to Mr. Chawang. Mr. Chawang, is this a concerted or an effort at this juncture to perhaps alienate Kashmir?
No, certainly not. We have nothing to do with problem in Kashmir and what problems Kashmir is having. But as far as we know, that Kashmir is the only state in India which has its own constitution ruled by its own people. There are least interference from state government as far as governance in the state level is concerned. But in spite of the fact, maybe it is fault of the successive government in Jammu and Kashmir, they are not able to reach the people at the grassroots level in Kashmir Valley. But it seems, in spite of lot of effort, lot of economic investment in Jammu and Kashmir state, the people in Jammu and Kashmir, they seem to be not to be satisfied for being part of Jammu.
All right, Mr. Chawang,
India.
Mr. Chawang and Mr. Gupta, just hold on. Mr. Chawang and Mr. Gupta, just hold on for a bit. We're getting some breaking news from Srinagar. Let's take our viewers through that. Protesters have torched the mini secretariat office in Pulwama. Clashes are going on at the moment between security forces and protesters in Pulwama. Mr. Chawang, I want to come back to you. Do you think that the problems of the centre will only be compounded by this demand coming in from the Ladakh and Jammu region at this juncture?
At all. In fact, I welcome the recent statement made by Honorable Prime Minister during an interview with a channel, in which he clearly stated that as far as solution to Kashmir problem is concerned, it is not to do with only people living in Kashmir. There is Ladakhi people, they have their own aspirations. People of Jammu, they have their own aspirations. Aspirations of all the three regions of the people have to be satisfied by the government.
Okay.
So it encourages
Okay.
us,
Okay.
And, our genesis of this demanding separation for Jammu and Kashmir state lies from independence. Because
All right. Okay. Okay, Mr.
successive
Chawang.
government in Jammu and Kashmir, they have
Mr.
treated
Chawang,
people
hold
of
your
Jammu and
thoughts
Ladakh.
there for a bit. We're getting in our correspondent Shujaul Haq from Srinagar to get us up to speed with what is happening in Pulwama at the moment. Shuja, take us through the protests that have broken out in Pulwama.
Well, Maha, there has been an incident of violence in Pulwama. What we are given to understand is that in the morning there was a protest march that was about to be led, and this march was foiled by the police, and later on the angry protesters went ahead and started pelting stones at the mini secretariat, which is the office for the deputy commissioner as well.
Okay.
And some of the rooms, we're not exactly sure what exactly was those rooms, but have been set on fire. That is the information that we are getting at this point of time. We still are getting to know that there are clashes going as we speak.
Right.
So we'll get more information as and when they come to us.
And this even as the delegation, the central delegation has landed in Srinagar for talks with all stakeholders to bring a solution to the problem in the valley. Shujaul Haq getting us details of the violence that has erupted in Pulwama. Many thanks to Mr. Chawang and Pradeep Gupta for joining us. Demands of separate statehood and union territory status coming in from Jammu and Ladakh even as we speak. Taking a very quick break now. Up next, Auto Today. Stay tuned.